Hi guys, Artiar here. So, ETHERIA Restart just posted a flash update notice. It's about a buff for the current SSR enemies rate up. The LD unit got a buff. Okay, because previously I think a lot of the community voices is about enemies is the Liliam is actually too weak and it's not really doing what she's actually advertised to do, because they advertise in their video, and also what they are explaining about Liliam is doing a very high damage enemies that actually can one-shot enemy target, all these things. But in the end, in game, in terms of PvE damage, it's not really as good as the other unit, and in terms of PvP unit isn't that high damage as well. Then everyone is actually forcing to build Liliam into a bruiser unit so she can have a tankiness and slowly keep down the HP of the enemy, right? And a lot of high tier PvP players actually enjoying Liliam. But in terms of lower tier, Liliam isn't really that used that often. It's because the damage isn't really built up into the expectation of the community. But now they're gonna buff it. So let's take a look at the buff here. So first thing is the S2. S2 here, your 2 hit damage increase 180% multiplier to 200% damage. So in terms of multiplier, it's actually increased by 20% multiplier. Isn't that massive, but you look at it for the next one. For every 1% the HP the target lost, your final damage increased from 1% to 1.2%. This is actually pretty good. Okay, because your base multiplier is increased already, then the lower the enemy HP. So let's say the enemy HP is already lost by 70% of the max HP loss, then you increase by another 84% of the final damage. So your S2 here, overall DPS output get increased a lot. But the major thing about the buff, I would say, is actually the S3. So originally you already buff up yourself with attack up and speed up. Then the multiplier here increased from 500% to 550%. So in terms of multiplier increased by 50% already, and not just that, it's not even done yet. Then if the target HP is above 60%, your final damage increased by 50%. But then this damage ignores shield, and the target is not a boss, which is the PvP content when you're fighting another enemies. Destroy the max HP equals to 100% of damage deal. This is crazy. From 50% increase up to 100%. Originally it's only 50%. Okay, and it's already doing massively good in terms of PvP content, because you do 50k damage, then 25k of the HP is get banned, and there's no way for you to actually recover the max HP cap currently. Okay, because if for my other game Dislike, for example, we have a few units that can actually recover the max HP reduction cap, but at least for now in ETHERIA Restart, there's no way for us to recover the max HP reduction. So for example, if you are fighting Sanya or you're fighting Tiamat, once you do a lot of damage and their max HP got capped, then they actually recover a little bit of HP only, because Sanya recover HP based on her max HP, and then Tiamat does damage based on her max HP. So Liliam here now, S3 actually does a massive buff. And then in PvE as well, if the target is actually a boss, increase your final damage by 50%. And guess what? Yesterday, last night, when midnight for me, there's a viewer actually share me an Aurora showcase about Liliam, saying that Liliam actually does more damage than Dating in Aurora with this team build. I haven't made the video showcase yet, but now with this buff here, who knows, the showcase video might actually make Liliam one-shot the Aurora easily because of the final damage increased by 50%. Okay, then they also fixed some issue where the skill level 1, 2, 3, the final damage increase for every 1% HP did not calculate correctly. Okay, so major buff is actually for the S3. So with this major buff here, Liliam will actually build up the expectation to the Lee family. Remember that I made a video about the Liliam one. I say everything about the enemy's name that have a Lee is actually going to be strong. Lily, Lingluo, Liliam, right? So it might actually build up the expectation, and the buff here might actually be overpowered. I'm looking forward after the buff. Then we will see how strong Liliam is after the buff, because with the PvE buff here, with the 100% max HP reduction here, and also the increase the multiplier here by 50%, it might actually look very, very huge for overall PvE and PvP content. So we will see how the buff actually make Liliam is, but overall the buff here is massive. So what do you guys think about this Liliam buff? You can feel free to comment down and let me know as well, and see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.